Hey guys, today I wanted to talk about distraction and how you can use that as a tool. So, my husband is quitting smoking right now. He's doing a fantastic job and I'm very proud of him. And we were talking about how when he's bored is when he struggles the most. And it got me thinking about my own goals and things that I've had to work through in the past. And what I realized is as I'm going on this fitness journey, I also struggle with boredom eating. I'm an emotional eater and a boredom eater. I've known this about myself for a while. And as I'm giving him advice on how to stay focused on his objective to not smoke anymore, and I'm suggesting to him to go to the gym, distract yourself, get out of the house, I'm realizing those same things apply to me in my weight loss journey. And furthermore, they're actually the exact same tactics I used to stop boredom shopping. So when my husband and I got flipped upside down in our mortgage back in 2008, I think it was, and we were really upside down, we really had to change our behaviors. And I was one of those people that would stroll around Target and TJ Maxx and just, I had disposable income, or so I thought, and I just spent money out of boredom. And it was just kind of something I would do when a friend wasn't around. And I produced what I I didn't have a name for it then, but now I call it a leisure list. And I've made a leisure list for myself to help me with my weight loss as well. And I suggested to my husband that he create one. So I wanted to share with you guys what my leisure list is and just kind of highlight that that could be a tactic for you as you're trying to break a bad habit, whether that be boredom shopping, boredom eating, smoking, or what have you. When that urge, because you're bored, comes up in you, find something else to do. Distract yourself. Incidentally, when I was having anxiety attacks, this helped me then too. When I was having my worst anxiety attacks, I was living in a one-bedroom apartment I had just moved to, and I had furnished it with a bunch of IKEA furniture. So whenever I would get that sensation that a panic attack was coming on, believe it or not, I would build IKEA furniture, and I loved it because it required me to read the instructions and stay focused on the task at hand. And I wouldn't say that it prevented the panic attack, but it definitely kept me from focusing on it, which made it, less severe. Anyway, so my leisure list right now is 5 items long, and I'm looking down because I have them listed here. The first item is to read a book. Dave Ramsey talks all the time about how wealthy people read. So I've made it a New Year's resolution or goal to read 2 books every month. And right now I am reading Love Your Life, Not Theirs by Rachel Cruz. And I just finished the Magnolia story from the Gaineses on Fixer Upper. And I really like that book. I'm going to do a video on that because there was one message in there in particular that was really moving to me as a mom. Anyway, I'll save that for the other video. The next item is go for a walk, which is really helpful for me right now, especially with my weight loss goals and the fact that I'm part of a step challenge at work. So I've been trying to go for at least 20 minutes of exercise every day. But on the days that I have more time, I'm going for like a 3 to 4 mile walk. And that has increased my step count and it's refreshing. I feel good afterward. I feel strong afterward. And it definitely takes my mind off of eating. The next one is to take the kids to the playground. I mean, really, is there a better distraction than your kids? There are times where I just want to say, go play, go to the playroom, get out of my hair. But honestly, when I need to be distracted from something, there's probably nothing more generous than I could do for myself and for them than to give them some undivided attention and go do something they want to do. If it's a bad weather day, maybe I take them to the play space in the mall. They love that. And then we can walk around the mall too. Now, I know for boredom shopping, that might not be the best suggestion, but for me to not eat, quite honestly, the food in the food court does not appeal to me. So that's a great place for me to go. Next, I have organize something. I love organizing stuff. I like organizing notes, my junk drawer, the kids' playroom. I love making lists. I have an Erin Condren planner. Sometimes I spend a little time just fancying it up with some stickers. I just find that really enjoyable. And, honestly, I can distract myself for at least 40 minutes doing that. So that is definitely on my list. And then lastly, I have catch up with a friend. As life gets busy, I find often that I think about connecting with people when I'm in the middle of something else, and then I don't get around to it. So I may think about texting a friend a thank you or just a thoughtful note because she's on my mind, or I might want to call somebody I haven't spoken to for a while, or I might want to write a letter. Believe it or not, I do still occasionally write letters, and for some reason those can tend to slip lower on the priority list as I stay focused on the task. Excuse me, as I stay focused on the task at hand. Sorry about that. So definitely catching up with a friend is something that I want to make a priority in 2017. I've got several friends that live in different states. I don't see them with any frequency, and while it's wonderful that when I do see them, it's like we were never apart, I don't want it to be where we have such long gaps without an interaction. So those are my 5 items that I recommend, my tips for distracting you or myself when one of those boredom activities that I'm trying to break, one of those habits, when they hit me. The last one I was going to mention is go to a museum, but I ended up taking that off the list because as much as I want that to be on the list, in reality, I just never pack up the kids and go to a museum. The museums in the Denver metro are pretty far from where I live. There's one that has kind of like a homestead thing going on that's not too far from me that we've checked out a few times, but it's outside. So right now with it being winter, I'm not doing as much of that. But I think on the weekends, as I get more into the habit of doing some of my chores after work that I usually save for the weekend, perhaps I can introduce some of those museum visits on the weekend. But if it's something where you have the time, I think that would be a great educational opportunity for you and for your kids if they're going to go with you. Anyway, that is sort of my tip and trick for distracting myself. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll check back soon. Bye.